Not a ton going on this morning, actually. I had to train Gorgeous Package. I wanted to jog Hanger 1, and there was nothing left for me to go with. By the time I got there, everybody was in full speed. Going to train some horses tomorrow on the race bike. Might be some rain coming on Saturday, which isn't the end of the world. You know, somebody said, well, are we going to train the babies Friday? No, they've been going pretty hard. We have 6 or 7 with splits that have to be cryoed on Saturday. And a couple of horses that had a little inflammation in their hind legs yesterday. It was just a virus that was going through the barn. It was fine today. But, again, just giving them the Saturday off might not be the worst thing in the world anyway. So we'll see how Saturday plays out. Tomorrow there will be horses in the race bike. Got to train Century Legion again in the race bike. I might train Maury a little bit in the race bike tomorrow. Maybe mile 2.6, I don't know if he really needs to go in the race bike for that, but he is set to go. Also, a couple other horses. We have Grand Slam Deal, who's schooling today. Eric was going to go with her. She should be going any minute now, actually. And then I had scratched on Lily this morning, sent a note out to all my partners, just saying a little bit of mucus in her nose today, very slight temperature, and a little picky with her breakfast. So just in an abundance of caution, we just said, you know what, there's no rush. We'll go with her next week, not this week. If she seems fine tomorrow morning, we might train her a slow mile, blow her out just a slow mile and a half or a mile, see how she feels after. But it just didn't really, there was no necessity to have her qualify today with any sort of reason not to. That was the way we were going to go on her. Now, where do we go next week? Do I take her to the Meadows and qualify her Tuesday? If she's feeling fine, do we go qualify her at the Meadows Tuesday when I'm going with Arrowhead? That's a possibility. We could go back with her second qualifier 9 days later at Northfield Park. That also is a possibility. So, the next 24 hours, we'll figure out what we're doing with Aunt Lily, but for today, she's not going to go. She just jogged this morning. I'll tell you who did go was Gorgeous Package. It was chilly this morning. You know, it was so beautiful yesterday in Miami Valley. Had I not made a break and left with a bitter taste in my mouth for my 3-hour drive back home, it would have been a really, really nice day, actually. 78 degrees. Just a little touch of summer in the middle of spring. As it is right now, it's up to 55 right now. 55 right now on my way to the Meadows. It was 32 when I went on the track. It was 34 when I'm on the track with Gorgeous Package. I just happened to look when I get out of the cars. It felt a little chilly. And I trained her with my winter gear on. 56 off a half in a minute. She was very strong going through the wire. She will race, Jason wants to race her with the numbers of 5 at Northfield Park next week, which I don't think she'll have a problem with. I'm not in a big hurry to open her right up or bust her up or anything, but man, she felt super strong this morning. So that was Package. I jogged Hanger 1. Now he galloped pretty strong yesterday and then came out today. After 2.5 laps, he was sweated up a little bit. So a real good workout for him yesterday. Maybe throttle him back a little bit. A lot of our clients were asking, what's the plan with Hanger? I just felt that 230 speed was agitating him. So until we get to 220, I'm just going to gallop him a little bit. Let him have some fun. Relax. He was very polite on the track today, and he was polite yesterday. When I turned him to gallop and he swung into the run, oh man, he felt like Seabiscuit. He wanted to run right through his bridle, and it was a chore to keep him throttled back. So I was really happy with him and happy with the way he's behaving, at least the last 2 days. We'll see if we can extend that into the entire 2-week period that he's got a moratorium from training on the trot, at least. So a good day today with the jogging and the training. Helped Amy get some horses ready. Everybody was on their toes this morning. I didn't have a whole lot left to do. Aunt Lily had jogged because she was not qualifying. I believe they were just getting Grand Slam Deal ready to school when I was on my way out of the barn. Got some horses in today. Got some horses in tomorrow. As I said, just trying to plan out the next week or so what we're doing, where we're going. Country Dancing has to come back to Ontario. She's going to race next week there. Unfortunately, a broken hobble yesterday. But aside from everything else going on with Country Dancing, it just looked like that's a salty enough crew where I said, well, Nomination 2 in Ontario goes for virtually the same amount of money. She already won the Nomination 2 once, let her graduate up into the Nomination 40 and get that wrinkle back out of her gait. It looked like she was pacing good. Now, it was hard to say because it was only 1:58 that night on a cold, icy track in Ontario, but she definitely looked better than she looked in her 2 starts here. Now, we only get to see her for a 16th of a mile before Ronnie was forced to pull her up yesterday with a broken hobble. But the week before, we talked about the cork, we talked about this and that, but it just looked terrible. So to try and get her back, her confidence back up and back going forward, I have little issue with shipping her back over to Ontario to do that, especially now that Foxy Seaside's on the bench for a few weeks. So that is the plan for tomorrow. As I said, Mounds for All, Never Lose Felix races today. Gymboree, I'm going to be watching her very closely tonight. Texan Soprano. Got a busy day tomorrow. Looks like Money, Memory, and Imagination are going to race together. Not my favorite thing to do, but as I said to you guys, both these pacers and trotters had to both be entered in the open for the class to fill, according to the race secretary. So we didn't have an option. They're going to have to race against each other tomorrow, and I'm okay with that. So it looks like Money, Memory, and Imagination are going to race together. Arson and Time Is On My Side are going to race together. JK Victory is going to round out our day at the Meadows. And then we have Delicious Stone, DK racing at Mohawk. Rosetta racing at Mohawk. Oh Hill No and Roshan Alexandra racing at Mohawk. So we get 4 at Mohawk. We have 5 racing at the Meadows tomorrow. Saturday, Fire and Shine was one of those horses with her legs stocked up a little bit today. So how will she be for Saturday? I don't know. We're going to have to draw some blood on her and get to the bottom of that. But I did see a number of the horses. Listen, Millie Girl trained great yesterday, and her back legs were a little stocked up before we trained her also. So just a tiny little virus, I think, that's going through the barn. It doesn't seem to bother them too much, but it is something we're going to keep an eye on. Freedom Hill, I guess, trained great this week. Had some vet work done. She's picked to win on Saturday night. The Nomination 2. Now, an odd occurrence. Our actual deadline for the stakes is the 15th. That falls on a Saturday, so it's now going to be the 18th, not the 14th. Freedom Hill, a couple of clients had asked me, would it make sense to put her in the Hackett? My first instinct is to say no. There's no need to put her in the Hackett. This is a filly that can race the Nomination 2 up to 4 and beyond leading into the stake season. I don't think there's a necessity to race her in the Hackett, upwards of 4 hours away when she's got a long stake season ahead of her. And there's going to be some killers waiting for those fillies. I was hesitant to even put on Lily in, but she has more wins and more money made than Freedom Hill, so a little different situation. But if she goes out and looks very, very good on Saturday night, I can be talked into that pretty easy, I believe. Putting Freedom Hill in the Hackett. Not my first choice, but I'll let her do the answering for me on Saturday evening. Rosa and AJ also races on Saturday. Is James driving AJ? Jody is, yeah. I didn't think that James would be driving AJ. I think he's got one of Aries or Beaton's in there. I suspect he's driving Trosa, though. No, he's not. Jody's driving Trosa at 7-2. Well, there you go. There you have it. We have Patrick DePrana in Sunday, lone starter on Sunday, and unfortunately he did get pushed up into the open. I don't really love that, but what are you going to do? They didn't fill a backup class. Drebin is back in the swing of things on Monday. A number of people asking, hey, would that stake race in Yonkers fit Drebin? Not my first choice, but as I said, we're getting to a point, at some point, Drebin's going to need a little bit of a break. And if he can do, if there's a class for him to do well in before then I suppose I could be talked into it. We'll see. I'll mull that over the next 48 hours or so. So with that, you're up to date. As I said, gorgeous package was awesome this morning. Hanger 1 jog good. They're the only 2 that I went with. No other complaints from the barn that I was told. Quarter crack horses look good. Neuromancer's is a little sore. He's a little sore on his paw today, the big colt. So we'll clean him up, get a bar shoe on him, and get that all healed up for next week. Regardless of what we do Saturday, I doubt you'll see, even if we train all the babies on Saturday, the quarter crack horses will not be training, especially Neuromancer. So lots going on this time of year, as there always is. Getting some more horses, getting really close to qualifying, getting the babies trained down, racing our horses, and looking forward to the summer ahead. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I hope you guys have a wonderful, what day is it today? A wonderful Thursday. I will talk to you all. I'll talk to you later on after we get done racing. I'll give you an update on Mounds for All and Never Lose Felix and how they did today.